Hey there! Ulti Zeta here! Welcome to a new Let's Play of a brand new Kirby game. And by brand new, I mean 9 years old, but I mean new as in it's the next Kirby game for me to play, is the point that I'm going with. It's not really new. It's new in the same way that New Super Mario Bros. Is new. You know? So, yes. Kirby Triple Deluxe is the next Kirby platformer game to come out after Kirby's Return to Dreamland. So, I can't really hang around on the title screen, so I can just hang around here, I guess. I have a 100% save file. Look at all these plants. And I have a 1% save file. I'm not really sure what that was for. Probably grabbing some sort of footage for Tor's Kirby's Return to Dreamland information video would be my best guess, because I don't really see why else I would have started a file that was 1%. Either way, it's been a bit since I last played a Kirby game. To me, at least. Because the last one I did was Dream Collection, which was literally just an hour's worth of gameplay. And then other than that, it was like, I recorded Return to Dreamland a while back. So, here I am playing the next Kirby game, and I'm looking forward to experiencing this game again, because, like, it has been so long for me since I've played Triple Deluxe, I really don't remember most of it. I really don't. So, in a way, this will be a new experience for me. So, let's just get right on started. Kirby's walking around in the grass with a butterfly. He says hello to the butterfly and goes fishing. Eat that, Blipper Kirby. Eat that, Seagull Kirby. Eat that, Apple Kirby. Kirby eats everything. A day in the life of the average pink puffball. The moon still exploded from when Nightmare hit, but he's having pleasant dreams. The house isn't, though. The house is getting risen into the air by vines. Kirby says, "Good morning, world." And then he realizes what's going on. What's going on, Kirby? Well, he doesn't know, but there's Castle Dedede. He better go check on his friend, see if he's okay. Well, that's a new face. What's going on, King Dedede? This is what you get for relying on Waddle Dees as guards. Wait, let's just stand there, Kirby. And so King Dedede has been Dedede-napped! No time to question this giant beanstalk, we gotta get our friend back. Hi, Kirby. Alright, welcome to Fine Fields. So that's our intro to the game. Pretty succinct, pretty to the point, really. So, Triple Deluxe is the second, like, modern Kirby game, and functions more or less exactly as you would expect from playing Return to Dreamland. Hello, Kirby. Give us a wave. And here we go, World 1. Yep, we can still eat things, thank God. So, I'm interested in how, like, revisiting this is gonna go for me, because, like, I'm really not as familiar with, like I said, I'm not as familiar with Triple Deluxe as I am pretty much any other Kirby game. Even arguably Planet Robobot, which I also don't remember as much, I still remember a little bit more of, arguably because it came out sooner. So, yeah, that's kind of neat. Yeah, it's Kirby. We're having a Kirby old time. Now, one thing I will say. While I don't remember Triple Deluxe, like, intimately, I do remember, like, the basics of it. I'm not, like, trying to be like, oh, this is gonna be a blind play, I'm gonna be surprised by things. No, I remember Triple Deluxe in concept. It's more so, like, the nitty-gritty that I don't remember. Anyways, speaking of the nitty-gritty, here's a theme of this game. 2 themes, in fact. Well, 3 if you count the music. Which, this is probably... Return to Dreamland had a bunch of themes, but I feel like this is the first Kirby game that really had more notable, to me at least, like, musical motifs. I guess. I don't know. Like, I recognize it in more in this game, at least, if nothing else. Either way. Theme number 1. Keychains. They're a little minor collectible you can get in this game. And they're the reason why this game is a bit of a nightmare in one very particular way, and that's 100%ing it. But, we'll move on to keychains later. For now, it's time for the gimmick of the game, Hypernova ability. Now, if you remember super abilities from the first game, and by first game I mean Return to Dreamland, the first game in this style, I guess, they're kind of the replacement. This is the kind of replacement of super abilities. Because now the super ability is just Kirby's normal ability, eating things. But now it's super eating. So, we turn our mouth into a big black hole, and we get to eat things. The power of the sun lies within the Sunstone. Find as many as you can, and evolve those Sunflora. Or Helioptiles. But yeah, it's basically super abilities, but you eat things. So, yep. Hold the button down and consume. So we can't always eat things, but we can drag things around with our super suction. Such as this. So Sunstones are basically the collectible of the game. Similar to energy spheres from Return to Dreamland. There's a couple in every stage, and that's about that. The keychains, on the other hand, are what you saw on the file select. They're sprites from other Kirby games. So there's blue ones that are completely random, and in most levels there's a golden keychain that's a very specific one and you only get there. So it's like a bonus extra collectible. So the blue ones are randomized, the golden ones are, there's one per stage. Also, if you don't raise that wrecking ball high enough, you don't destroy that thing like the tree trunk, you don't destroy it entirely. Instead, you simply knock it over, and then you can't get that thing, so be sure that you don't accidentally mess that up, because I definitely remember doing that myself. Anyways, molies. I don't know if they're actually molies. It's not like I know the enemies of these games anymore. The days of me remembering every single Kirby enemy name is long since gone. For now, I just know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know. And, you know. You know. Look at that quilty background. Alright, and Hypernova does not persist between stages, but you do get your other ability back when you do it. And the goal game is now a sort of three-dimensional version of the goal game from Dynablade from Kirby Superstar, where you shoot yourself out of the cannon. But also it's reminiscent of, you know, the jumpy game from Kirby's Adventure, Nightmare in Dreamland, and Return to Dreamland. So these are the keychains. You get a Kirby sprite from various games, various characters, various anything that's basically a 2D Kirby game is represented here. So you got Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. Hey, look! Dreamland is 2 words, people. And we get Burn-It Kirby from Nightmare in Dreamland. And the Star Rod from Nightmare in Dreamland. Trust me, they're not all from Nightmare in Dreamland. Alright. And the reason why the keychains make things miserable is, like, consider it like getting all the trophies in Super Smash Bros. Think of it like that. Like, there are some trophies that you can only get for a certain means, like beating a checklist mark, doing a thing in, like, classic mode, etc., etc. Like, there's some trophies that, like, have very specific requirements. Those are, like, the golden keychains. Those are easy enough to get. Then, unfortunately, on the other hand, there's a completely random selection of every other keychain in the game. And there's probably a slight weightedness. Also, new ability, Bell. Ring, ring, ring. Be sure to ring that bell and hit that subscribe button. So you get notifications for everything on YouTube or something like that. I don't know, I don't shill. I don't care if you watch or not. I mean, it's nice. But if you watch, you're probably already here, so hello. I'm just making a joke. Anyways, I have to actually pick up my 3DS now and tilt because we're on the 3DS, so we have tilt mechanics. And otherwise, I am literally just sitting with my 3DS on my desk because it hurts to hold, and it's easier for me to play games like this, I notice. Like, I'm using it almost like a keyboard, essentially. Bong, 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 bong. Also, these are chips from Amazing Mirror / Squeak Squad. Always a fan when they bring back things from those games. Specifically Amazing Mirror, I don't care if they bring things from Squeak Squad. Well, I mean, I do care if they bring things from Squeak Squad. It's just like, I care less. Relatively. Squeak Squad is a fun enough game that's really basic. And Amazing Mirror is one of my favorite Kirby games. So, like, yeah, of course there's a difference between what I care about and what I don't. But yeah. So basically, think of the keychain collecting as, like, if you want to get 100%, you need to get all the keychains. That's just a straight up fact. But to actually do so... Huh. I can literally just rotate. I don't actually have to tilt. I can rotate the 3DS on my desk. That's funny, actually, that the tilt sensor actually works like that. I mean, I guess, yeah, it is still being tilted. Just, I don't know, I don't have to pick it up. I just, like, swivel it on my desk, and that works. Neat. Oh. I like the whip ability. Plunk. What was I talking about? Keychains are mandatory 100%, but they're completely random, so, like, it becomes an incredibly immense grind of nonsense. Okay, you gotta just be careful that you don't waste all the water. And therefore, you get your thing. So yeah. it becomes a very immense grind. I remember spending days upon days upon days just literally grinding this stage and 1-4 over and over and over again, getting keychains, until I eventually ground out all of them. So that's the reason why, for this Let's Play, I'm not going to be going for 100% again. I will be getting 100% aside from keychains. So I will do everything in the game until I get the keychain grind, and thus I can move on and be like, here's my already 100% save file, here's all the keychains, I'm not doing this again. Anyways, Waddle Dee is just support. Also, is that Tor? Tor, is that you? Is that like an old 3DS Tor up there, or is it just somebody who looks potentially like that? I don't know. Anyways, Mr. Flosty! Hello. Goodbye. I don't know how exactly many abilities I'm going to be using over the course of the game. Also, this always reminded me of getting to Candy Constellation in Amazing Mirror. In Moonlight Mansion, where you just go to the thing and there's like a heavy night, and like you go in the door that's really obvious, but if you float all the way up, there's a little secret. I don't know. Just makes me think of that. Might have been the inspiration, might have not have. I don't know. Gold game, gold game. I messed it up. Kirby's sad. Hell Me from Kirby Mass Attack. Bomber from Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. Tack from Kirby Superstar. Parasol Waddle Dee from Kirby Superstar. And Dynablade from Kirby Superstar. They sure do love Kirby Superstar. Oh, trust me, they'll love Kirby Superstar in this game, that's for sure. Alright, Stage 3. And also, if you're randomly curious about my random tirade, and why I specifically said I do Stage 2 and Stage 4 of these stages to grind keychains, I don't know if those are the actual fastest stages. I'd used Fire and it was typically pretty fast. But the main reason why I didn't do Stage 1 or Stage 3 here is because, these are the two stages in this world that have Hypernova. And honestly, I'll just come out in front and say it, I don't like Hypernova. It's not a terrible thing, it's just, I think at this point most people are aware of how I'm somebody who really values my time when it comes to games, and I get really frustrated by, like, things taking a while. It's like the efficiency of my speedrunner brain, almost. Even though I'm, like, not that much of a speedrunner, like... Ah, okay. It is neat how, like, this game utilizes the 3D pretty well. I'm not playing it in 3D, I could, and, like, move things around. Look at that ground wiggle. Look at it wiggle. Look at that wiggle. That's the 3D slider in effect. But yeah, I could do that if I wanted, but I don't know. It's just, I like the 3D warp stars, that's what these are. I almost started talking about them earlier, but then didn't. But yeah, like, it's a sort of gimmick of this game, and it's a neat gimmick of this game. I feel like there's going to be like a Howl Room in one of these early stages, and I don't actually know where it is, and people are going to be annoyed at me for not knowing that. And I apologize. Mostly to Tor. Only to Tor, if Tor is even watching. Anyways. Yeah, I don't like Hypernova because, specifically, the thing about Hypernova is that it feels like it always was just really slow. And as somebody who values time and efficiency, it always bothered me how slow it was. It's not inherently terrible, it's just that, like, it feels like my time is being wasted when I'm in Hypernova. Comparatively. Like, it just feels like a very elaborate, elongated cutscene. And again, it's not inherently terrible. It doesn't ruin the game by any means, but it does make it feel like it takes longer than it needs to. And especially for the levels, like, I don't know, like, it made replaying levels, certainly, feel utterly miserable to me when I was, like, looking for good levels or, like, things that I missed. Like, if I missed something in a Hypernova stage, I was just instantly like, ugh. Like, it's a gimmick to me that works because of its spectacle, but the gameplay is usually mostly just press the button or hold the button. And, like, I remember when I was doing my big giant... Is there a cutter or a sword about here, or fire or anything? Fire. Here we go. I just want to make sure I'm not actually, like, missing anything in these, like, bushes. Well, I was missing a keychain. And while I'm not going for 100%, I will get whatever I get. And I won't get upset. Tilting the 3DS. A lovely gimmick. Yeah, like, I'm not trying to be like, ugh, Triple Deluxe is awful. I think it's a pretty good game as far as I remember. But it definitely has, like, a lot of points in the game that are, like, rather slow because they are more spectacle. So, to me, I always felt that was, like, made it feel a little bit weaker than Return to Dreamland. It has some definite improvements, but it also has some things that are, like, I prefer that in Return to Dreamland to this one. And I feel bad, because, like, this game really was trying to be a really good experience, and the fact that they were able to cram, like, Return to Dreamland into essentially a 3DS game was very impressive and good. Also, since I also started talking about it, well, for one thing, I always like this background. It reminds me of the forest stage backgrounds from Kirby Superstar and Superstar Ultra. There's a lot of backgrounds in this game that are kind of, like, 2D enough that and they also remind me of, like, Superstar and Superstar Ultra. I have a lot of knowledge of Superstar Ultra backgrounds because of my Kirby Sprite comic, that's for sure. But yeah, I remember when I was doing, like, my Big Star Allies comparison video, showing the original stages versus the Guest Star Allies versions of stages. And I did the guest star for the character for this game, who went through areas that are similar to these, but they're, like, they're not this. It was really funny just how much I had to speed up the footage for Triple Deluxe. Gotta make sure to not get exploded, because otherwise you don't get the treasure chest. But luckily, I'm pretty certain you can just reload the room if you mess it up. For some reason, I was just thinking, like, oh, do I need to, like, raise this up slightly so that I'm, like, up here standing to inhale? I don't know. That was, like, my weird thought process, and I was like, wait, they wouldn't do that. This is a Kirby game. I'm overthinking it. Let's just do what exists. But yeah, Hypernova isn't bad, it really is just, it's just a matter of how it's slow. That's really all it is. But it's not just Hypernova, it is a lot of aspects of this game that feel a little bit slower and more methodical. But again, I also want to stress that does not mean I dislike this game. Liking it less than Return to Dreamland, my favorite Kirby game ever, at this point right now, is like, yeah, No duh, I'm going to probably prefer Return to Dreamland. And honestly, I want to have better memories of this game playing this here and now. Because, like I said, I don't remember the game too well. So it'll be nice to, like, have more memory of the game. And, like, have more fonder memories rather than some, like, my 100% or even frustrations. Which, yeah, I had 100% frustrations. This is, honestly, one of the most obnoxious and frustrating Kirby games to 100% ever. At least as far as the mainline platformers are concerned. And, like, that's just an unfortunate truth of, like, the combination of the endgame of this game and the way the keychains work. It's, I don't know. We'll get to it. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to, like, preemptively, like, be like, here are some thoughts I have on this game that are relevant to the things that are going on. That's all I'm trying to do and be, and eventually I'll get a good cannon shot. But that is not today. Instead, I just get 7s. The Triple Star Cane from Squeak Squad. Mike Kirby from Superstar Ultra. And a Cappy from Superstar. Ew! Kirby's disgusted by that Cappy. But yeah, and also, and now, as sort of like alluded to, this stage does not have a Hypernova segment. Instead, it has a reference to Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. We haven't had Spark yet. Doop doo doo doop doo doo doop doop doo doo doop doo doop doo 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 doop doo 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 doo. Reference complete with Kirby's Adventure music. It's pretty nice. And if you don't get the reference, Stage 1-4 of Vegetable Valley begins this exact same way. In a forest with, I think, a Sir Kibble and Sparky right by a ladder that you climb up. However, in that game, you immediately have a boss fight against Mr. Frosty. In this game, we have a boss fight against Hornhead. You're brand new. Run back and forth. Ah! Hornhead is kind of like a mixture of, like, Bugsy and a quadrupedal beetle. And he gives us the beetle ability. Beetle's kind of like a sort of like bug version of the typical wrestling abilities. But also kind of like Wing. And I really like it. I like the abilities of this game. Except for one. And I'm not talking about Hypernova. We'll get to that one. But I'm probably gonna give that one a fair shot. More of a fair shot when I eventually reach it. Because I don't really remember ever using it. We'll see when it happens. If it's even in this game, I might be thinking of Planet Robobot. No, I'm not thinking of Planet Robobot. I remember the 3 abilities Planet Robobot added. Bump ba-dum, bump ba-dum, ba-da-bump ba-dum, bump bum. Hiya. That one's for you, Tor. I sure am referencing Tor a lot. It's almost as if he's a Kirby friend. You know, being in a forest and having, like, things like Grizzo, that also reminds me of Kirby Superstar. There's a lot of, like, subtle references in this game that I do rather like. Because, like, it doesn't hit you in the face with them. It doesn't hit you over the head. But, like, if you catch it, it's like, ooh. Like, it doesn't feel necessarily unoriginal. There's definitely enough in here that's actually original. Is Needle in this game? It is. I genuinely did not remember that. Neat. I mean, it makes sense. Do I have the roll ability, or... Oh. Doesn't look like it. But yeah, like, I don't know. What it kind of makes it feel like is, like, it makes it feel very reminiscent of other Kirby games while still being its own thing, and I really do appreciate that. Hey look, 3D gimmicks, which Gordo is gonna be in your face. That one. I'm invincible and you can't hurt me. Don't tick me off. Did you see that Grizzo's face as I entered the door? It, like, freeze-framed on, like, utter death and despair. Alright. Tilting gondolas. More tilt gimmicks. Oh no! My beetle! I'm no longer a bug! I guess I'll just grab a sword. Let's not get burned. It's honestly weirder than you would think to try and do this, like, literally, like, by swiveling the 3DS rather than tilting it more naturally. Mostly because, like, the effect it has on the 3DS is sort of the same, but because I'm not holding it, the effect it has on my hands is very different. I like how it looks like the trees are just, like, peeling off. Hey look! Another Kirby's Adventure reference. Always puts a smile on my face. I think it also works to have, like, a lot of, like, references to older Kirby titles sort of near the beginning. Yeah, sure. I think it works because it's like you're getting your groove on, and this just kind of helps make you feel like, yeah, I'm playing a Kirby game. It's Kirby. That's the name I should know. I see you back there, Birdon. You'll get what's coming to you eventually. Wheelie Rider from Kirby Superstar. Dark Matter from Dreamland 3. Hello. And Metallin from Kirby Squeak Squad. And the Waddle Dee Ball from Canvas Curse. We never even saw you. At least in the Let's Play, I certainly saw you, because I 100%ed that game, and that's a miserable experience. Do not recommend. Well, miserable's the wrong word for it. It's just really, really, really tedious. The only actively miserable part is Paint Panic. But that's beside the point. I played that game, well, 6 years ago for my channel. Like, yeah, time flies. Alright, well, we opened the boss stage, but we also opened stage 6EX. I was about to, like, combine the word 6 with EX, and then I realized what I was about to say, and yeah, I'm not saying that in a Kirby title. Let's just play stage 6. How about that? So, the bonus stages, the EX stages, are neat little referential things, mostly in the music. They use music from other Kirby games, as they also utilize the various gimmicks from other stages. So here we have Distant Traveler from Dream Collection, if you didn't recognize it. I'll be sure to point out every reference I recognize, and even some that I don't, probably. Bird on. I told you would get what was coming to you. Don't you knock down these trees. I was trying to, like, do something other than that, but I wasn't really able to. Kirby will help the Waddle Dees, because that's what he does. There we go, there's me trying to do a thing and succeeding. Look at those Waddle Dees, they're so happy, look at them. And now we have the forest music from Return to Dreamland. Do 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 do. I kind of don't want to play as Wing. Wing's not a bad ability, but for me, here playing it right now is not really quite working. Okay, hold on. No. Okay, all that for a single point star. Not really worth it. So it's important to recognize one extra thing about the 3D warp stars, is that they also, since they're similar to doors, they have a similar functionality to doors in one particular, like, visual way. 3D warp stars that have a red star in the center, so like the middle star is red, are a two-way 3D star. So this one, you can tell, is just going to take me, is a one-way star. It's going to take me and then it's going to vanish. Now, that doesn't necessarily inherently mean that there won't be a new 3D warp star that spawns in afterwards that is a little bit different in that regard, but it does mean that, like, you could be a little more cautious if you are afraid of missing out and such. So that's just like a little bit of extra thing to know. And if you didn't realize that about the doors, then that's also how they work, at least in the modern Kirby games. If they have a red star, you can go in and out of that room. I like Kirby music, that is not a surprise to anybody. We haven't had Bean yet, let's be Bean. Yay. Hiya. 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 Anybody who's played Team Kirby Clash understands, like, this, like, hiya. This is how I play Beam. This is the Beam strategy. Who uses this move? I don't need your pudding. I've got a pet brew. You know, I gotta say, I really hate the modern Kirby games renaming this thing the energy drink. I realize that it means basically the exact same thing, but pet brew was just so Kirby. Also, it's blocky! Completely revamped and redesigned. So that's pretty neat. Also, the music is Kirby Superstar's boss battle, but it's the Return to Dreamland remix from the Scope Shot minigame versus the Waddle Dee Tank. That is how much of a Kirby nerd I am. Now you might notice some of these mini-bosses are a little more extravagant than you might have really expected a mini-boss to be, and that's kind of a theme with, like, the boss fights in this game. Oh, I was genuinely expecting that to not give me a stone because I accidentally ate the thing with it. Alright. Congratulations, all the 1/6 stones collected. Why is this one in particular a thing? I guess in case you forget, if you forget to open the chest, you can go back. Look, it's the Return to Dreamland crew. I'll do this at a later point, probably when, like, closer to, like, visually existing. Alright, come on. Last one for the first episode. I don't think that's number 1. Yes! Birdon got what was coming to it! You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be good enough. And the other benefit of getting a number 1 is that you get an extra keychain. Bubblehead from Kirby Squeak Squad. The magical paintbrush from Kirby Canvas Curse. Surprised they don't call it just the power paintbrush, but whatever. High Jump Kirby from Nightmare in Dreamland. Mirror Kirby from Superstar. Leap from Amazing Mirror. Alright. And now, boss fight, everybody. Stage 5. And while this happens, let's show off a few stone forms. Why not? If I can get anything good. Got some Mario bricks. Got a Kirby statue. That's classic. Giant fist. Kirby statue. Kirby statue. The Buff Man. Ku Rickenkind. Anything else exciting? Anything else interesting? Well, there's the HAL Laboratory Office, Mount Fuji. A bunch of Kirbys, presumably from Mass Attack. Thanks, game. You know how to cheer me up with my favorite Kirby game. There's Ultra Sword Kirby from Return to Dreamland. And there's the Lore Star Cutter, also from Return to Dreamland. Nice little silver stone. I'll see if I can get one more neat little thing. And then after that, I'll actually, like, fight the boss. And lots of Lore Star Cutters. There we go! There's a new golden statue! Marx and Magalore together at last. Cool beans. Maglore's not in this game, unfortunately. Marx isn't in this game, fortunately. I like Marx nowadays. I've learned to accept our favorite jester pal. I guess I'll stick with Stone. I can punch things. Dee-da-dee! Get back here, Dee-da-dee! Hi, Dee-da-dee! And this fellow is Taranza. I never actually mentioned his name. He is Spider Meanie, and he turns this flower into Guess who? Flowery Woods. Punch, 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 punch. Ow. Punch, 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 punch. I will punch this tree. I will punch this tree. So, remember when I was talking about how, like, boss fights do involve a bunch of waiting? Here's kind of a thing about why that is. Most bosses in this game utilize the foreground and background gimmick. Unfortunately, for a lot of bosses, that means there's a lot of time when you can't really hurt them because they're in the background. Doesn't ruin them, but it does mean that there is a lot of waiting, and as somebody who is impatient, it bothers me. But don't worry, we'll get to, like, the real meat and potatoes of that pretty soon. I forgot how stone worked for a second. Because the real boss who's a problem in that regard is not Flowery Woods, trust me. It's only, like, a very slight annoyance in, like, a boss like that. It's like, yep, okay, I'm waiting around a little bit. And really, even then, it's only an active annoyance in, like, the boss rushes. In this, it's like, yep, okay, I'm fighting the boss. They're invulnerable for a little bit while they're in the background doing this fun little spectacle thing. It's not... I didn't dislike that. That was fun. That was fine. It's just, like, when you're, like, fighting a really hard boss rush, because this game has, like, one of the hardest boss rushes in the entire Kirby series, in my personal opinion. And then every boss has, like, moments of invulnerability. It just means I'm like, ah! I want to tear my hair out. I just want to fight you and hit you. Or get hit. I don't want to just sit around waiting. But again, that is far... Like, here's the thing. I'm, like, coming into this game, remembering all of my endgame experiences as I start the game. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I'm not, like... Again, I'm not really trying to be negative. I'm having a good time. This is me having a good time. I'm fun, exciting. We're on World 2 now. I just remember some of the negatives a little bit more than the positives. And that's what this Let's Play is for. To remind myself of the positives. Because it's Kirby. And Kirby is fun. And next time we're going to level 2, Lollipop Land. I like lollipops. They're fun to suck on. And Kirby is a master of sucking. So, yes. Next time on Let's Play, Kirby Deluxe. We're going to be moving on to Lollipop Land, and, well, that's about all that I got to say, so, yeah. Hope you guys are in for a treat. A lollipop treat. Yay.